bomb site. But here we go, the knife round.
The knife round it is. And let's just run through the roster of Team Infused whilst it begins. So it's going to be Zed, Pulse, Red Snake, Fearless, of course, who we've shouted out before, and Shiki as well, or Cheeky Shiki, as Kyanite likes to call him. So
the
this
beast from
is
the northeast.
the beast from the northeast as well, so I'm sure we'll hear that at some point. So teams knifing now to decide who gets the half, and on a map like Nuke, it's pretty essential to try and win it. And we will see who's going to be able to take that one. But Kyanite, I think it's going to be a really, really interesting series between these two squads. I'm going to predict that it's going to go to the third map as well. And I think the crowd here at Insomnia 53 are favouring the Vexstar squad. They've won the knife round, and they're already cheering here. So they've got the home support here.
Yeah, well, obviously, because they're the underdogs. Yeah. I mean, the likes of Zed, Pulse, Red Snake, Fearless, and Shiki are players who we see on the main stage literally almost every I-Series. In the UK scene, unfortunately, we haven't really seen much competition for these big names, and it's a big surprise to see FM Esports drop out as well. And for people like Twirl, Def, Tasta, Rama Lumji, sort of players who have always been up there but never really, found the right lineup to break into the top 5 teams in the UK, they've finally done it, or at least it looks like they've finally done it, and they can cement that by winning this final. So, of course, everyone naturally is going to support the underdog and want the underdog to win.
Well, you call them the underdogs, Kyanite, but the underdogs,
they're definitely not the underdogs based on what we've seen so far.
Exactly, that's what I was just going to mention, because they've taken out the #1 seed, and they took out the #2 seed, which is actually Team Infused here, in the upper bracket to cancel out a 1-2 seed grand final, as you can now see, because Vexstar actually with a 5th seed coming into this tournament. So that's how that ran, and they played very, very well against those two squads, having some great resilience and really showing what force they can do. And having a look at the CSGO lounge stats before we went live earlier on, it actually was in favour of Vexstar. I'm not sure on the exact percentages, but Vexstar were favoured on that website to actually take this series, which isn't surprising because of their run through the upper bracket.
Well, to be fully honest with you, I think most people betting on CSGO Lounge won't be as familiar with the UK scene as us. Like, for example, I cast the weekly ESL community challenge, so I'm very, very familiar with these players, their playing styles, and both teams. So most people will be betting on Vexstar naturally because they were the team who went through the upper bracket and beat FM Esports. And, of course, they've already beaten Infused, which is something they'll have definitely taken into account.
But we are live, ladies and gentlemen. The first round of the grand final is up and running. Vexstar, the #5 seeds going up against Team Infused, the #2 seeds. And we can't emphasize enough how important it is for these teams to get this first round on the board. The more rounds you can get on the terrorist side of Nuke, the better. And 4 out of the 5 players have made their way into Secret and down towards the lower bomb site. And let's see what's going to happen now as they make their push in. A couple of grenades going down just to check if anybody's going to be covering themselves in Nuke. Lumji's down on that lower bomb site, and he spotted that Nuke there, and he spotted that other smoke grenade coming down. But Fearless picks up the first frag of the grand final. Here we go, Kyanite.
Yeah, here we go. Zed drops down into the vents, and from the sky, he will headshot Tafster, and it's not looking good for Vexstar so far. Red Snake, all eyes on Secret. Shiki just holding the window room, spots the head, spots a glimpse of Rom. Down he goes. Great shot from the beast from the northeast, and it's 4 versus 2, and Twirl and Def have a big job to try and do.
They do indeed, and it's going to be even more tough now. As Twirl did go down in quick succession, so did Def. So only 1 casualty here for the Ts, and as we said, that's a very good start indeed. The more rounds you can pick up on the less favoured side of the map, the better. Vexstar won the knife, decided to stay CT, as you would expect, but now Team Infused have got the advantage here. They've got their first round on the board, and Kyanite, they've got those all-important rifles in hand.
The thing is, on the terrorist side of Nuke, it's just crucial. Well, it's not 100% crucial, but it's important you win your pistol round, because on paper, that should technically give you a 3-0 lead, because the CTs now, they're not going to be able to buy up until round #4.
They've got armor here, so they're going for 4 CZ75s, and we've discussed a lot over the weekend just what damage that tiny little pistol can do, and it's going to do some damage here off the start. Twirl picks up the first kill. Red Snake will respond, though, and Sheikah's going to get the second one, already moving things into a 4-on-3 situation. Bomb has been planted. Rom evens up the situation. You can see just exactly what that CZ75 can do here. 2-on-2 Kyanite. This is looking relatively good here for the CTs, but the bomb has been planted, and they need to make their move onto that lower bomb site soon. Def has picked up a Galil, though.
Yep, Fearless just playing from distance, and Fearless doing what Fearless does best. 2-man from him and a 3-man overall. Good hat trick, and that was a bit close for comfort, but I guess it portrayed how strong the CZ75 really is in Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
Yep, as I said, we have talked about that gun quite
And
a lot
arguably
this
needs to be
weekend.
nerfed.
Yes, arguably there is a lot of discussion about that weapon at the second. Seen many different viewpoints on it and what they think should happen to it. Some people thinking that it should just be more expensive. Some people actually think that it should be moved to the SMG category to completely make sure that AWP players don't buy it and have something that they can destroy with at close range. But enough about that, because it's just back to a full eco here.
It's a really interesting stack from the CTs, putting 3 players in main. I think they predicted that the terrorists might make their way towards Secret, but they haven't really shot against them. They're trying to sneak from behind now. Let's go and take a quick look where they are. Here we go. Twirl is going to be the player to come from behind, but no, the Infused player is already waiting for him. Great shot from Shiki. Nails Twirl in the head, and this is going to be tough, Chewy, for the CTs with only USPs.
It will be indeed, of course. We know exactly what damage those rifles can do. Pulse is actually going to get knocked down to 5 HP, so the CTs are putting up a good fight here. Zed is going to get one, and Fearless gets another as well, leaving Def and Lomji, sorry, that was the last to arrive. They will go down, and the bomb, I think, will just about... No, it won't be planted there, so no extra cash for the terrorist side. But Carnite, now we're into it now. And do your little speech about boys turning into men with the rifles.
Well, you've ruined it now.
You keep doing it.
Said it. Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
I'm sorry.
We were men against boys, now we're men against men. Vexstar opting to not go for an AWP. I'm not sure whether they can. No, they can't afford it. So we've got Tafster, Rom, and Lumji who haven't opted to go for helmets, but of course the AK-47 is a one bullet to the head, then dead weapon.
Nice
but great entry frag from Fearless, introducing himself nice and early, allowing Team Infused to get that early one-man lead. And again, Chewy, against FM Esports when Infused played against them yesterday, and I think they beat them on Nuke. Fearless single-handedly, honestly, brought the game back for them with his entry fragging. And he's top of the scoreboard again, 6 kills and 1 death.
Exactly the kind of performance that you want to be getting here at the start of a grand final match here. The winner will take away £2,000 and the loser £1,000. So a lot of money on the line here for both teams. And already with that opening pick here in round number 4, this is looking good for the terrorist side. Let's see where they're going to push with that. 3 players stacked up here on the upper bomb site, and Mom's going to be able to find Zed there to take him out and even things up onto a 4-on-4 situation. Out comes the push. Fearless is going to find one, though. It's still a 1-for-1 trade. Eventually, Pulse will ensure the man advantage here for the teams, but it's going to go right back. Unfortunately, Rom can't pick up 2, and it's all going to be left up to Twirl here in a 1 versus 2 situation, and they spotted him. They know exactly where he is. Pulse will get the headshot down, and 4-0 to Team Infused here, and he's even going to be able to save that big green gun, or orange and white gun, with that lovely Asimov skin. So Vexstar, they're going to be forced down to another eco here, Carnite. Not exactly the best way that they wanted to start their counter-terrorist side here on Nuke.
No, but it's not the end of the world, and we've already seen Vexstar do really, really well on their ecos when they buy up the CZ75s. Granted, last time around they bought CZ75 armor, but honestly, dude, with the CZ75, you just don't know what to expect. It's that much of a random weapon, and it's that much of a strong weapon as well. We see Fearless, I believe that is, yep, Fearless being boosted on top of Silo, so that'll allow him to pick a big garage, but of course we know something they don't. We know none of the CTs are actually there.
Yeah, indeed. So outside push the terrorist squad, and they're just really being cautious here, the Vexstar squad. Again, going on about that CZ75, we know what damage it can do, so they're just trying to get those close quarter gunfights, and they're sticking together as a squad. But Fearless, actually, from outside, is going to peek into A there and pick up the first kill on Lumji. So turn around from Tasta to see if he can spot that player, but he's just going to be met by a grenade. And let's see if Fearless is actually going to challenge that, getting very confident as he comes back out with the P250. So this is, again, just shows why it can be a CT-favored map, because Ron was on that upper bomb site and then suddenly is able to drop down to the lower bomb site, pick up a kill with the CZ75 and reward himself with an AWP.
Yep, he's picked up that AWP, and the question at hand now is whether he's actually going to try and take on these terrorists, because the AWP, of course, $4,750 is what it costs, and that's a heck of a load of money. You don't really want to lose it. Def trying to add insult to injury to Pulse, but failing to drop him. Red Snake with a nice, crisp headshot, and yet Rom's going to do the sensible thing here, Chewy. Get a few exit frags and try to save that big white and orange gun.
So Zed is going to try and go hunting for him here, as we can see, and he is going to be able to find that player, so no saved AWP here for the Vexstar squad, and Zed will be able to save it to ensure that it goes back in the hands of Fearless, and there we go. You can see he just throws it to him, ensuring Team Infused 5th round on the board. Vexstar still yet to get around in this first game here on Nuke, and they need to do something soon, because already, to be quite honest, Carnite, if Team Infused don't win a single round for the rest of this first half, it will still be a relatively successful first half. 5 rounds on the T side of Nuke is pretty darn good.
It will be. So let's take a quick look at this boost here. Fearless, all eyes on Big Garage. Oh, just about spots someone, and Def, who we said would be the Vexstar danger man. Fearless with the double, and they're just walking into his scope at the moment. And You know, when I mentioned that Infused have experience on the main stage and Vexstar don't really have the same experience and that it might play mind games on them, it definitely seems to be the case so far.
Most definitely. So Tafs and Ron will be the last two players left alive here for the Vexstar squad. Not looking very good for them whatsoever. In comes the push towards the lower bomb site. Smoke going to cover that bomb planter, which will be Shiki, and he's going to have absolutely no contention whatsoever to ensure that that bomb has been planted. So these two last CTs here, I think it's going to be very, very difficult for them to even try and attempt to retake this lower bomb site, and by the looks of things, they are not even going to bother. They know that their financial situation is very tight, so back they go towards CT spawn, and they're just going to hide away and make sure they can save those all-important rifles.
Now, the round prior to this one, where Vexstar were on an eco, I think they did very, very well to push as a unit. They had one person push ramp, and they had two people. I think one person pushed Squeaky, and one person pushed Hut, and they managed to basically clear Hut, and I was surprised by how long it actually took them to rotate to the low bomb site. Because I would have thought that, especially since they had someone who was rotating through T-spawn, they should have realized that, hold on a second, guys, no one's in computer room, no one's in lobby. These guys must be heading outside where we have nobody and heading down to the lower bomb site. But it's unfortunate, and they are going to force the buy. We have Tafster, who's gone for the CZ armor buy, so let's see what he can do with it, because Vexstar really, really, really need their first round on the board.
They do. It's starting to run away from them, and they weren't able to pick up those two M4s, which they tried to save. They were spotted out, hunted down, and duly punished by the Team Infused squad. So let's see what happens. Def's going to pick up the first kill here onto Zed. That's a lovely opening pick from the Vexstar squad. And how are they going to respond now, Team Infused? Are they going to keep up the massive momentum that they've been already building up here in this first half? Or a Vexstar finally going to get the first round on the board. Lumji gets two, and I believe that's his two first frags here in the game so far. Fearless will eventually respond, but it's already a 4-on-2 situation here in favor of the CT. So this is looking slightly better for them here, Kyle Knight.
It is, but they know exactly where Fearless was last spotted. He's making his way towards CT spawn, and as far as the CTs are concerned, they can just pretty much camp the bomb sites. That's the name of their game. They don't need to go and hunt Team Infused, especially with Fearless on form as he is right now. Twirl, the man at secret, and the question at hand now. Oh, great shot from Shiki. See you later, Def. And all of a sudden, the 4 versus 2 becomes a 3 versus 2. And with only 30 seconds to go, you wonder whether this might be doable. Fearless, all by himself, towards the upper bomb site, spots someone in Hut. Shiki will throw the grenade in. He will put the smoke in as well, and the bomb will go down. And maybe, just maybe, Chewy, Infused are going to do the impossible.
This would be absolutely devastating here for the Vexstar squad if they lost this round. They had a 4 versus 2 advantage. Taff was caught out on the upper bomb site with only that Caesar 7.5 in hand to try and do some damage to the player coming up from heaven, and it didn't work. Fearless is going to get one, as Twirl gets one as well. It's a 1 versus 1, and all that Fearless needs to do is to wait and hide. Twirl does not have a kit. He's going to be able to get the shot, and somehow Team Infused win the round. That just shows how resilient these teams are, and I just absolutely love that even on that 4 versus 2 situation, Knight, they got that opening kill to make sure it was a 3 versus 2, and they didn't give up.
World-class play from Fearless. I've always said that, in my opinion, he's the best AWPer the UK honestly have to offer right now. A lot of people in Twitch chat think he's a wall hacker, but the truth is, if Kenny S pulled off the same thing, no one would say anything. Yeah. And honestly, we need to stop as a community underestimating this man, because this man is phenomenal with the AWP.
Frags.
But here we go.
14 frags.
14 frags.
Well, 7.5 rounds. That's phenomenal.
It is, but here we go. Team Infused wasting no time as the stampede of terrorists make their way through ramp room and make their way down to the lower bomb site. And what's really annoying me is it just seems so easy for Infused to take control of this lower bomb site, either by pushing outside or pushing through ramp room. Where's the resistance?
Where is the resistance? As in comes 2 more kills. It's actually a 2-for-2 trade at the second, making things a 3-on-3 here, but the bomb's been planted very easily indeed, and Vexstar don't have control of this lower bomb site. So the after plant positions are going to be able to be gained by this T site here after planting the bomb, and Fearless picks up another big kill there with his AWP. He is going to be challenged once again, and he's going to be able to pick up the kill on Lumji. So 2 more kills coming in there for Fearless, securing that round for his team. Shiki also picked up the last advancing CT player, but Vexstar haven't got control of the lower bomb site. They allow Team Infused to plant the bomb. Team Infused get loads of time to go into some nice after plant positions, and just they can't overtake it. It's as simple as that. 8-0.
And when you consider how strong Vexstar actually looked on Nuke against FME Sports, who were no pushover whatsoever, they were seeded first for a reason, and now they're losing 8-0 against the team they beat yesterday. I don't know. maybe it is a pressure game too.
One of those things that can happen at Counter-Strike. This is why it's so unpredictable, and this is why we love it as a game, because anything can happen. Forced down to an eco, though, are going to be the number 5 seeds. Zed's going to pick up the first kill there onto Def, and Def has been very quiet so far. He's not really done too much whatsoever, and he is, for me, the standout player. He was the standout player yesterday throughout all of the day. He really was performing very well. So if they can keep him quiet, that's going to be good. So an eco coming in, as you can see, only CZ75s
great
for the CT
positioning,
squad.
great positioning from Lungji. Pulse has spotted him. The flash will go out, and he'll be calling for his teammates to rotate. Someone drops from the sky. That man is Rom, as Fearless takes control of Vents. Down goes Twirl, and up to the upper bomb site they go. And this is brilliant. Brilliant play from Infused.
Such initiative coming in here from the experienced squad of Team Infused. The smoke will go up to give them some cover from heaven. And Shiki's going to stay right on top of the bomb and give himself some cover. So it's still looking good here for the team of Infused to be able to take this round. Shiki's going to find that one player up the top and take him down. And this is pretty much a given here that Team Infused will extend their lead to 9-0, which on the terrorist side of Nuke Kyanite, that's more than impressive. That's pretty darn phenomenal.
Yeah. And I think phenomenal is an understatement, to be honest. Nuke on T-side is...
tricky. I hate playing
what
it.
Infused are doing right now is a lot easier seen than done.
Yeah.
Leave it at that. And 9-0 the score in favour of Team Infused.
That's what I love seeing about
I hate to say it, but this has been it's been a very one-sided game so far.
It has. Well, it's pretty
really
obvious.
haven't showed
You can
up.
just look at the two numbers at the top of the screen and see that it's a very one-sided game. But, I mean, the performance that we're seeing coming in from Team Infused is why I love Counter-Strike, because they're making it look easy, and this is not.
You see, the thing is, Nuke plays a big factor in what you just said, because if it was 9-0 on Dust 2, and Vexstar will be going into a buy round right now, you might think to yourself, hold on a second, Dust 2, a bit more of an even map, 9-6 might be on the cards, or even 10-5.
Yeah.
But this is Nuke we're talking about.
Well, let's hope for the sake of a close game that Vexstar start to bring this one back. Kyanite predicted that Team Infused were going to take this match here and guarantee themselves £2,000 in 3 maps. But with this performance, they're just going to keep rolling forward at a very high pace indeed. Fearless has been taken out, though, to start things off, and that's always a good player to take down early on in the round. Out comes the push, though, from 2 players, although I think, actually, the bomb could be making its way onto the upper bomb site. It's going to be Red Snake, the man with the bomb, just looking outside hut here at the second. And CT's remaining very, very static, just seeing what information they can gather. And Rom's trying to see if he can spot any players who may have come from outside and gone down towards Secret with the cover of those smoke grenades. Out comes the push, though, from Red Snake. He's spotted up one towards Heaven. He's going to throw that grenade up there. Is it going to connect? Yes, it will. So Rom goes down, and they've managed to get on this upper bomb site with absolute ease. No contention whatsoever here, once again, from the CT side of Vexstar.
Yeah, leaving 12, 1 versus 4. And it's been poor.
I don't think I've seen anything like this.
It's been poor from Vexstar. I mean, what they're trying to do with regards to defending the B-bomb site, like, for example, the ramp room Twirl and Rom keep dropping down and try to repel the incoming attack from the lower bomb site, but I think Vexstar themselves need to try and go a bit more aggressive. Stop letting Infused take control of the map. Stop letting them, dictate the tempo of the game. Get in their faces. Push 2 or 3 people outside. Take them by surprise. Get the goddamn entry frag.
Yeah.
Make something happen. To the moment they're waiting for Infused to come to them, and Fearless and Co are just tearing them apart.
So, Kyanite, I'm going to ask you a question here. And Team Infused already on double figures on the less favoured side of this map. I'm sure Vexstar won't be because, if they're a top team and if they're going to continue performing the way that we have seen them perform so far in this tournament, they're going to try and bring this back. But do you reckon in the back of their mind they could already be thinking about map number 2?
Look, I mean, if I was playing for Vexstar right now, what I'd be saying is let's just focus on this map. Anything can happen. And, this pretty much summarizes everything that's gone wrong so far for Vexstar. Team Infused have somehow managed to plant on this bomb site. Shiki with a brilliant headshot. Def is going to come around with the FAMAS. Red Snake with 1. Red Snake, of course, we saw him get a 1 versus 4 earlier on Mirage, and he definitely still seems in form. Shiki spots Tafster, drops him, sends him to sleep, and with Rom in a 1 versus 3 situation and the bomb planted on the lower bomb site with only an AWP, I don't really fancy him. It's a big weapon, it's a heavy weapon, it's very difficult to maneuver with, and it's very expensive too, so he's definitely making the right decision by trying to save it. But at the end of the day, there's only so much you can save. They're 11-0 down. Is it going to make that much of a difference? I don't know.
Such a shame to see the grand final of a tournament which so far has been incredibly close and incredibly incredibly good to, go in this fashion. You would have expected that it would actually be a really close affair, but hey-ho, we will see what can happen. I'm not going to count Vexstar out yet. They've shown us a great couple of days of Counter-Strike that we've seen already at I-53 here, and I have a feeling that they may just do something and surprise us with what they can do and show everybody on the stream that they can do something pretty cool. And Def's actually going to go big there. He's picked up 3 already. He will not get the quad, unfortunately. 3 big kills to try and do something to shut down the terrorist side. And Redsnake's going to be the last one left alive. Down goes Lumgy through vents. He knows that there's a smoke grenade there, just manages to avoid the Molotov. And finally, Vexstar are on the board, Carnite. But that had to take some pretty phenomenal work there from Def with that AWP, and then the CZ75 to guarantee it.
Well, I think that this time around, they actually tried to hold Ramp Room from Ramp Room itself. They decided to invest heavily into that AWP. Granted, he lost it in the end, but a 4-man from him. And he did get up close and personal with them. He told them, you want to run at me at Ramp Room? Come at me. I've got my big green gun, and I'm going to make you pay the price for it. 11-1 the score. And Rom having to settle with only a FAMAS, and here we go, the boost onto Silo. And I do believe it is going to be Fearless who's going to be the man to be boosted. He's just all eyes on Big Garage, hasn't seen much. Little does he know, though, that there is someone, namely Def, just meters away from him and Lumgy right underneath him. So surely it's only going to be a matter of time until the terrorists scout out these Vexstar players. And here we go, great shot from Redsnake, unfortunately. Has to reload and fall back, but Lumgy is still lurking in the area. He's not making too much noise, and I think he's aware that they are coming towards him. I think we might see a boost into heaven right now if Pulse doesn't go down. Great kill from Pulse. Lumgy gets a return frag. Fearless is going for it. Maybe shouldn't have done so with the AWP, and Redsnake returns onto Twirl.
In all honesty, I don't blame Fearless there. With the performance that he's putting in so far, yes, Lumgy did just take out one of his players, but he has been playing so well, he decided to get aggressive and see what he could do. Taff picks up a lovely 2 kills there with one player advancing out of hut, and then the next coming up from heaven, and that's going to mean now that Shiki is in a 1 versus 2 position. He has got the bomb, and he has got 33 seconds to play with here, so you never quite know. He could pull off something pretty clever here.
It was unfortunate because Team Infused had that man advantage, and then Tafster out of the blue got a 2-man. But of course, Vexstar can't see what we can see. We know that Shiki's just on the ladder, waiting to take him by surprise. I think he's just listening. May have seen Lumgy, but Tafster, no, his HP was just too high at the end of the day. Hat trick for him. And to be fully honest, Tafster deserves a pat on the back because he single-handedly turned that round in favor of Vexstar. They were a 1-man down, and then out of the blue, he decided to take a risk. He pushed outside through main and got an easy 2-man spray down and saved the day there at the end against Shiki.
So Vexstar with their second round on the trot here. They finally decided to come and give us some good CS action here at the I-53 Grand Final at the Rico Arena in Coventry. And we want a good game. We want this to go the full distance. We want everybody to be on the edge of their seats, because I can promise you, with the series that we've seen so far in this tournament, we've certainly been on the edge of our seats, if not jumping up and down with excitement at some of the plays we've genuinely been seeing here. Lumgy with a lovely shot through the smoke there to take down Pulse, and Taff is going to be able to pick up another one there onto Fearless to ensure the man advantage in favor of the CTs. In comes the push towards the lower bomb site, which so far Team Infused have had very good success with, but Twirl is going to stop them pushing through there. Redsnake tried to use that smoke to give himself cover as he planted the bomb, but wasn't able to do so. And now that means that Zed has got to do something big. He won't be able to do so, leaving Shiki, the last man alive, in a 1 versus 3.
It's the cheeky Shiki, and Vexstar have no idea where he is, actually. He's got Tafster to the right of him, Rom to the left of him, both in vents, and he may be able to reinvent the wheel here. Oh, Tafster comes in, nails him in the head, and another hat trick for him in consecutive rounds. But even if they make it 11-4,
it's not good enough.
It's not good enough on the CT side of Nuke.
No, it is not. So, terrorist side with 4 AK-47s and an AWP in the hands of Fearless. Nothing too controversial there. Exactly what you would expect from them. And let's see, there's no AWP actually on the CT side here of Vexstar. They're deciding not to go and challenge it, even though that we've seen Def have some actually really good performances. And he's going to go down straight away. It is traded, which is okay, but still, maybe not the best decision.
So Lumgy sees the feet of Shiki, and I think we have a pause. So, a pause. Maybe it's a... I think the reason for the pause is it's half-time, and Vexstar are probably having to regroup. So, you know, it could be 11-3, 11-4, it could be 12-3, but at the end of the day, it makes no difference. I guess they just haven't got enough rounds on the CT side. And, well, the comeback could potentially be real, but the first step towards that is, of course, winning the pistol round.
Yeah, that is crucial. We can't really emphasize it enough. It's always important to win your pistol round when you're on the T side of Nuke, whether you've just come off the back of winning on the CT side or whether you are starting on the T side. But in all honesty,
just the fact that it's a T side of Nuke, it's the fact that they're probably 11-4 or 12-3 down.
Yeah, exactly.
You have no choice
just
but to win the
disregarding
pistol
what
round.
the map is, yeah, you've got to go big in the pistol round. So we really can't emphasize enough how important it is for them. I do have to say, though, I don't want to count a team out because I don't like doing that, but I have a feeling even if they do pick up the pistol round here, it just might be out of their touch now, unless they can pull up some sort of crazy T performance like we've seen from Team Infused.
Live again, Tasta yet again getting on the score sheet, but Fearless roughly knows his position and has scoped in on him and will pull off the shot. Great shot from Fearless. Lumji as well to his right, but I'm not sure if Fearless knows he's there. He seems to do. No scope from Fearless.
Wow.
Oh, living up to his name. And what do you think? It's 3 versus 2, Chewy. Do you think this is going in Vexstar's favor or Infused favor?
Infused favor, most definitely indeed. They are really playing well. They allowed Vexstar to get 3 rounds in a row, but they're not going to allow them any more favors. So it will be Rom in a 1 versus 3 situation here. Shiki is on low HP, so that may turn things in Rom's favor if he can just pick up that 1 kill and then see what he can do. But with 39 seconds left on the clock, the T side of Team Infused have got plenty of time to play with here. And
so Team Infused heading towards ramp room, where they'll most likely be heading towards the lower bomb site. Here we go. Smoke's coming out. Molotov's going out. I think that was a bit of a poor smoke there. Not intentional by any means, but here we go. Rom's going to hear the bomb's gone down, and he will have now realized that it's been planted on the lower bomb site. So 1 versus 3. Shiki on low HP. If there's any man on this Vexstar lineup who's going to pull off this clutch, it's going to be Rom. He's going to utilize a Molotov there, but unfortunately for him, no one's actually in that area. And there's the headshot to finish off the half. 12-3 the score.
Let's have a look at the scoreboard as we do go into the halftime mark. And Fearless, actually, 24 frags and only 8 deaths there. That's pretty darn phenomenal play from that man. So as we head into the start of the second half here, it's looking really good for the Team Infused squad to take this one. They're now on the more favoured side. And they've only got 4 more rounds to win before they take the first map in the grand final here, Kyanite. So very, very impressive stuff. And do you see a way back for Vexstar?
No, but there's always a way back in Counter-Strike.
There is always a way.
It's not over until the fat lady sings. The fat lady ain't going to sing until someone's got 2 maps under their belt. So let's see how it goes. Pulse, all eyes on main. And let's just go over to the terrace and see what they're trying to execute here. Do they have anyone on roof? No, they've got 2 people going towards outside. There's the barrage of smokes going out, which should give them access to secret, which of course, like I said earlier on, is the door and is the key to the lower bomb site, which could also allow them to go towards the upper bomb site, or they could obviously sneak past and try and boost each other up to heaven, which is something that seems quite popular nowadays. But the Molotov comes in front of Squeaky, but Vexstar don't care. They're still coming through. Red Snake with a CZ75 kill. Lungi now with that lovely water elemental Glock. Spots Fearless. Fearless gets one nailed in the head. Knows exactly where Shiki's hiding, but where's Zed? Zed's actually pushing from Hut down. Almost down goes Shiki. That nade should finish him off. Apparently not. And Lungi and Zed are just playing Ringa Roses at the moment.
They are indeed, but what the CTs are trying to do here is waste time, of course. Lungi is going to get that 1 player, and Rom's going to finish off the second, and finally Vexstar are able to do what we wanted them to do and pick up the pistol round here, so they are still in with a fighting shot. They are going to be able to buy those rifles, so we'll see how they are going to be utilised then.
Exactly what the doctor ordered for
Yeah,
Vexstar.
but,
If the comeback's going to be real, it starts
Yeah,
now.
it starts now. They just got to take it one single
But it's easier
round
said than
at a
done
time.
up against the CZ75s. We saw when Team Infused won their T-side pistol round how good Vexstar were on the defense with their own CZ75s. Granted, they went all in and bought armor and helmets. So let's see whether Vexstar can repel the anti-eco.
Well, we will have to see. 1 round at a time is the only way here for Vexstar. They've got to just take it easy, not look at the score, and just try their very best to just take it, as I say, 1 round at a time. In comes the push though from Red Snake. And his teammate just checking the lower bomb site. And they're actually going to spot 1 player there, which is Def. He will get the first kill onto Red Snake. Zed's got to be very cautious here, and he is going to spot Tap there as he tried to plant the bomb in the smoke. So he's going to pick up the kill and reward himself with a Galil. He smokes down just to give himself some cover, but this is just back and forward here. It's actually a 2-on-2 situation, and the HP advantage is in favour of the CTs, kind of, and they're going to get another kill. So Lungi is the last one left alive. He has been able to get Zed, though. It's Pulse against Lumji. This is absolutely crucial here for Lumji to get the 1 versus 2 clutch, and he does. Still in with a fighting shot, showing their resilience here, Kyanite. Good work from the T side, but that was way too close for comfort.
Well, I predicted it, didn't I?
Yeah.
We almost saw a repeat of what happened in the last half, and especially because the thing is, Nuke is a CT-sided map as it is, and for example, in and around Secret, where once you come down the stairs and you turn left, holding that angle with the CZ75 almost guarantees you a kill. You see what I'm saying? So it is a very, not only is it CT-sided map, but it's very suited to the eco style of the CZ75s.
Well, they're going to be using those CZ75s again, apart from Fearless, who's actually opted for the 5.7. And we've actually seen him do some good damage with that pistol so far in the tournament over this weekend. But it's going to be a couple of rifles here for Vexstar as well. We'll see what damage they can do with them and see if they can have more of a successful round than maybe the last round with these
Infused, again, they're on the more expensive CT side, hence why they haven't been able to force the buy up come this 3rd round. And you can see how they're setting up, basically. They've got the crossfire here, just waiting to see if anyone will come in. And they're just trying to force a kill out. And Vexstar are also taking it nice and slow. You know, slow and steady wins the race. And they want to make sure they do not walk into those angles where the CZs crave. Sorry, Def getting the kill. Lumji with his 2nd. They know exactly where Red Snake is hiding. And what can Pulse pull out the bag here onto Def? That's what he can pull out. A lovely headshot. But 4 versus 2, it won't surprise me, Chewy, if Pulse just picked up this AK-47 and saved it for the forthcoming round.
Definitely a good decision indeed. The bomb will be planted, and are they actually going to try and push for this? I'm not too sure. It looks like they may be debating it here, Kyanite. Maybe Pulse is just going to stay on the upper bomb site and see if he can get any exit frags, but he's going to drop himself down actually at the 2nd, and he's going to go for it, and he gets punished for doing so. Lumji spots him, and Lumji with at least 3 kills this round, so the hat-trick at the very least for that player. Vexstar will pick up their 6th round, definitely picking up the plays, and we've seen what damage Lumji can do, and I believe at one point Lumji was about 2 kills and 9 deaths, and suddenly he's evened himself out to 13 to 13, so that's not a bad comeback.
No, it's not, but at the end of the day, it's a team game, and we can see that Lumji's contribution is, of course, contributing to the fact that Vexstar are slowly but surely making their way back into this game. Def trying to boost himself, but Tasta will come in to help, and this is a very interesting setup. We're just going to have Zed who's going to be watching outside. I want to go and see where Pulse is hiding, as a matter of fact. Where are you, Pulse? He's number 7, so he's just hiding in main, so they're expecting some sort of outside push to come in from the Vexstar boys. There go the smokes, and again they're making the barrage to allow them access to Secret, and the slow approach begins. Def is going to be the AWP for Vexstar, who is on top of Silo. He spotted the AWP of Fearless as well, so we do have a small sniper battle here, and the question is, who's going to win it? Fearless is trying to smoke himself out. Def just zooming out at the wrong time, but Vexstar are already down towards this lower bomb site. They're already down Secret, but a few of them are making their way back up.
It'll be interesting to see if they do decide to rotate up or go back. Def is going to pick up Zed there to start things off and move the man advantage in favour of the team squad. Fearless is going to respond though, and he's going to win the AWP battle here to even things up into a 4-on-4. And I'm liking this position from Pulse here. This is absolutely awesome. And they're actually not going to even decide to check it and try and challenge him. They're going to make their way down.
They've got to be careful. They've got to make sure they've got smokes prior to planting, and it is going to be Tasta with a smoke, so good nade there. In fact, Red Snake may have just about given away his position. He's hiding behind Toxic. The nades are being lobbed between the sets of players, and here we go. They're going to execute. Rom gets one. Red Snake only managing to get 1 kill, but we said they had to be careful of Pulse. There he is wreaking havoc, gets a double, and now it's all down to Mr. Fearless.
No time.
And there's no time.
That was exactly what Team Infused needed to do. They played that very, very well. Although it was close, they did what they needed to do and wasted time. And also, one player came around the corner, and I think it may have been Red Snake. I do apologise if I'm wrong. But he was going around the edge after dropping out of vents, and he picked up a huge kill on the player planting the bomb. And just those simple kills like that can guarantee a round win, because then the T's have got to try and push in. They've got to make sure they cover themselves by not getting shot by another player, and they've got to try and plant the bomb. And that clock is ticking down. So Vexstar, unfortunately, too slow there, and they will get punished for it, because Team Infused have guaranteed their 13th round on the board here. They only need 3 more to take this map here on Nuke, and Vexstar, unfortunately, have only been able to get 1 rifle.
Great defensive smoke from the CTs, but it's not going to be enough to prevent Fearless. It's only up against an eco, but yet again, he still impresses. He's got someone coming from behind him. 4 for Fearless, wow. What a shame. And Def is going to pick up the AWP, and let's see whether he can save it and salvage it, but no, Shiki ain't going to let him have it. It's worth a heck of a load of money. And you know what, Chewy, it was only an eco from Vexstar, but then again, they had CZ75s. We know how strong the CZ75 is, but that was just brilliant to watch from Fearless.
Fearless managing to get themselves, and well, Team Infused have just been, I can't really describe it like this performance that they've given. This has definitely been one of the best games of Nuke that I've seen from a single team's perspective. They've really been impressive. And in only 20 rounds, Fearless has dropped 30 frags. That is definitely phenomenal. Impressive. Very, very good performance. Exactly what you want from your top player, arguably.
He makes
in
it
the
look
grand
so
final.
easy as well.
He does. He really does, indeed. So let's see if Vexstar can do anything, because they've really not got much more time to play with here, Karnite. They cannot make any more silly errors. They've got to put up their best performance here to try and make this comeback real. I have a feeling it may be too little too late for them, unfortunately. And that's a nice start to take down Fearless here. That's a good player to start the round off with by killing. Twirl has only dropped to 19 points of health, but still, let's see if Vexstar can get their 7th round on the board.
Yeah, I believe that nade should have given away the position of one of the CTs, and it was Pulse, and they've had a change of heart. They're slowly but surely heading towards ramp room, start asking questions of the players there. And even more nades, but Rom has to be careful. You see the terrorists put the defensive smokes down there, but the CTs have actually used it in their favor. But Rom, is he going to be saved? No, he's not. We've got Zed on only 13 points of health. Oh, can't get away. And there's an extra frag for Vexstar, and maybe, just maybe, they can use this too. Now 3-man advantage as the Team Infused players fall.
Oh, Red Snake with 2 lovely frags there, coming in on Rom and Def. Lumgy's going to go down as well, and Pulse picks up 2 in quick succession. Red Snake gets the 3rd, and that's why they were shouting on stage. Team Infused guaranteeing themselves map point here, 15-6. And let's have a look at the economy for Vexstar. It is not pretty whatsoever, Karnite.
It isn't, but they've got to force the buy. It's do or die as far as they're concerned for this map. We've got 1 AK for Def, another AK for Twirl, and the other 3 are on an Armor CZ75 buy. So let's see how it goes. We've got Tasta, who's going to be making his way towards lobby, and obviously with the CZ75s, they want to try and keep themselves in close combat. They don't want to really find themselves outside trying to take on Fearless in his AWP with just CZ75s, but here we go. Fearless spots someone, hits the shot, and there's an AK down, but it is going to be Rom who's going to pick it up. They're recycling that AK-47, Chewy. Fearless down to 16 points of health, and he's not been disposed of yet.
No, and Rom actually deciding to throw that high explosive grenade down towards Secret and not see if he could follow up and take out Fearless, who is, as we've already pointed out, very, very low with only 16 points of health. Zed, holding a lovely angle here, is going to be able to spot Tafster and take him out, and that's going to mean that it's already a 5-on-2 in favor of the CTs, who are on map point. Lumgy will respond, though. Nice shot into Shiki, and he will reward himself by picking up an M4 there. So they are going to have 2 rifles here, but this is a really tricky situation, and they've only got 40 seconds to play with, Kyle.
Well, we saw Infused in a similar situation to Vexstar in the last round and pull it back thanks to some magical FAMAS work from Pulse. Let's see whether Lumgy and Rom can keep their team in the game, or rather in the map, because they're not out of the game just yet, but look who it is. It's that man again, Luke Fearless Morris. He gets done from behind by Rom, but 3 versus 1. Rom's only got 22 points of health, Chewy. He's got to pick up the bomb. He's only got 15 seconds left, and Team Infused, let's be honest, they've got this one in the bag.
They have got this one in the bag. Absolutely phenomenal game so far. There we go. Zed will confirm it. 10-round advantage, 10-round win for Team Infused as they take the first map in this grand final here, 16-6. Fearless dropped 32 frags, 2 assists, and only 14 deaths. Brilliant. That's a way to introduce yourself to the grand final of the eArmor and Plantronics I-53 grand final.